Hello, my loves. Spiritually Savage here. This is a disclaimer video. I don't know how many videos I've done thus far. I think it's probably over 100 now. Welcome. I see my 20 subscribers, so it's like 924. I like documenting time and everything. And so it's like 1:59, September 24th on a Friday, which I didn't recognize it was Friday. It's crazy. Um, because I've written in my journal, so I've seen the date. I just didn't pay attention to the actual. Anywho, this is a disclaimer video. I literally love everybody. So when I say I love you, it really comes from a genuine place. It comes from my heart, and it comes from a different level now because spiritually speaking, who I'm talking to, I know you guys resonate with me. And if you're anything like me, your life has been rough and you may be going through something right now. Okay. But this is a disclaimer video because although and even though I love everybody, I don't care who you are. I don't care black, white, Latina, Asian descent, whatever. I don't care. I don't care what background you come from. I don't care if you're an atheist. I don't care. Christian, Islam, Catholic. I don't care. Because if you're on this channel, then that means even though you may have those religions or some sort of spiritual background, there's things going on around you that you ain't too sure of, and you're looking for a different explanation as to why you feeling the way you're feeling, what you're going through, and why you're going through the things you're going through when you're a good person, a genuine person, and you lived your entire life literally just from the goodness of your heart. That is me. So if you are on this channel and that is not how you lived your life, then when I speak about my karmics and when I speak about the other spectrum, because I'm on the right side of God. So when I speak about my life, if you're not vibrating where I'm at and you're feeling as if I am jabbing you, then my love, my darling, you are on the other side. That is why. That is why. Because I have lived my life loving people, no matter what they did or did not do for me, really. And even though I get frustrated with myself about that part of my life, I am very grateful for that because that showed me that I was pure of intent. No matter what, I didn't care. If you didn't do me that way, I didn't care what you did in life. I didn't judge nobody based on it. That's why I was their friend. I was genuinely their friend, right? So, this is a disclaimer video. Like, my channel is open for discussion. I am here to educate, but I am also here to be educated because I don't know everything. And we learn by interacting with each other because you have gifts that I don't possess and I have gifts that you don't possess. So, if we come together, two heads are better than one. But I do recognize, enter over, and understand that you can't work with everybody. And I am learning that because there are people that have energy attachments to them that are not of the light. And so, disclaimer, I don't care who you are, what you do. I really don't. But if you are on the right hand of God, meaning you distinctly know what is right and wrong, even though we may falter because we are human and we are not perfect. Okay? But you distinctly know what is right and wrong, and you hold yourself accountable first. That is one of the only requirements that I have by participating in and on this channel. That is it. I really don't care what you do behind closed doors unless you are harming, hurting, or injuring anything or anyone. That means animals, children's, elderly, plants, people, yeah, places. If you're abusing them, then I have a serious problem with that. Okay? Disclaimer, I love everybody. And I can learn from any and everybody. I can. I've lived my life doing that. I love talking to people, but I like face to face conversations because you get a complete feel of a person. People can fake it on text, they can fake it, you know. You really can't fake it on text with me though. But, you know, people can fake it. So I like to, you know, get the whole full experience of people. So I welcome you to my channel. I do welcome people to comment. I know I just be talking about what I learned, but if you learned anything different, or if you learned something along the same lines as I have, or if you're experiencing any of the things that I have listed, I got 20 subscribers, y'all. I watched it creep up. I was excited. It's been a 222 kind of day though. So, anyhow, get back to doing what I was doing. I'm, you know, writing in my journal. I write all the time, y'all. I write all the time. I write all the time. Right now, it's the only way I can get my thoughts out because I love to talk to people. I really do. And that's one of the another things because I do enjoy my alone time. I always have my entire life. You know, I love my alone time. I do. Always have. I've been going to the movies and out to eat and all that kind of stuff by myself since I was 18 years old. I bought a book called My Knight in Shining Armor when I was 25 years old. And it was basically a book on how to date yourself. And I was in the middle of a relationship. But I forget what had happened. And I had packed up and went to freaking Tennessee to the museum for the weekend by myself. He swore I was cheating on something. But I wasn't. I forget what happened. I forget somebody did. And he pissed me off at 25 years old. And I read that book. And I was reading that book when he did that shit. And I just I packed up 25 and went to Tennessee. And I was already like in the process of building my house from scratch, my first house from scratch. So, and he swore I was cheating, but I knew I wasn't cheating. I'm not a cheater. I'm not a cheater at all. I don't cheat. I'll break up with you and leave you before I cheat. I really would. I'm not a cheater. I don't like that guilt. I can't stand the guilt. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I really can't. Never been a cheater. But anywho, that was just a disclaimer. Nice little 7-minute disclaimer just to get to know me on a different level. Yes, I want to go into things that are like deep and penetrating and not just superficial stuff. And I'm not saying that healing is superficial, by all means, it's not. But you're healing from trauma that happened to you and that is probably currently happening to you. But in the midst of you healing from the trauma, you realizing some things in this world ain't right. And you like, but hold up. So that's adding even more to your confusion, right? That's adding even more to like, God, really? Okay, so like not only are you waking up to the people that are around you and to yourself, you're waking up to the reality of this world, the matrix, and the things that go on behind closed doors, like Pizzagate, and you know, like humans and burgers, and you know, it really is. And I'm telling you, even though people say it's conspiracy theory, understand, and overstand to every lie, there's a bit of truth. But it's up to you and your walk with God and your walk and your incarnation on this planet. Check your birth chart. Some of y'all think y'all working for God and y'all working for the devil. You got to know your birth chart. Even though I know we come from spiritual backgrounds and our spiritual background said that is the devil, it is not. They have Jedi mind tricked y'all into thinking that a part of your history that gets you to know yourself a little bit more, past, present, and future, that can help you with this walk in this incarnation, in this world, in this life. They make it seem like it is the devil because it helps you. Just like they make it seem like taking medicine helps you when no, it debilitates you. When they make it seem like eating all this fake food just because it's good is helpful. No, it debilitates you. Everything you gotta, it literally when you're waking up, when you are awoken. And some of y'all being woke up by the devil and some of y'all being woke up by God. My channel is of God, has always been. I has been speaking of God since I was 5 and not have stopped, okay? And my testimony is, oh, listen, my testimony of what I have gone through and what I have endured, yo, the videos don't really even give it any justice because there are some topics that I wasn't comfortable with discussing. You know, I just got comfortable saying black magic. Black magic, what? Are you kidding me? That don't exist. It did not exist in my world. I didn't think of it because that's another thing that they Jedi mind trick you to think that that stuff don't exist, but it definitely do exist. It exists. It exists. If you currently experiencing things that you ain't never experienced before, having cravings of things that you ain't never did before, whether they be sexual things, whether it be, pharmaceutical things, whatever the case may be, but you're like, what? I remember all of it. I remember when I switched up on me. I really do. So to me, I remember when I was taken over, but I was still awoke. I was one of them ones in the movies that even though their body was possessed, I was still very conscious of what was going on. And I still did my best. That was the thing. Because there were things that I was doing that was out of character, like smoking one of them, which when I first started smoking, I didn't think anything of it. But now, hindsight 2020, I recognized what was being done because I was pulling away from my karmics. I was pulling away from my karmics. And that included everybody thus far in my life that I had to detach from emotionally. That was the only way for me to win at my game, to win in my world, to win at my own salvation, to win the ultimate salvation for me is enlightenment in my closer relationship with God. I used to say all the time that because I recognized the progression. I've always had a relationship with God, but it was never as intimate as it is now. Because when I say intimate, I used to tell God, I wanna hear you and feel you at the same time I'm moving. So there's no difference between what you're telling me to do and my actions to facilitate them. Because right now I still second guess. And that's okay. Because once you're coming out of confusion, there are a lot of things that you got to get used to. You got to get used to yourself again. You got to get used to yourself again because you are completely different. And when once your whole world has been shattered and once that matrix has been shattered and once that glass has been broken, listen, yeah, it's going to take a lot to get you used to the realities of this world because what we see is literally only a fraction of what is really, 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 really going on in the world. It really is. And I used to ask God, I want to see the seen and the unseen. I didn't really know what I was asking for. I did, but I did. I did, but I did. I did, but I did. But I do now. I do now. I do now. I do now. And I'm grateful for it. But it did take me a minute to be like, not second guess what I'm seeing. Like, okay, okay. I used to see little babies in the clouds all the time and be like, what? What is that? But I've been seeing things in the clouds since I was a baby, since I was a kid. On airplanes, I always look to the clouds for pictures. Always have. I've always, I was conditioned to do that. So what I see now is really, just bonus. But I've always seen things in the clouds. Anywho, this is a disclaimer and I just went on a tangent. That's what I do here. But it also allows you to see yourself in me and what you got going on or what may be going on around you. So even though I do struggle, even though my faith in God has never wavered, even in the darkest days, there was a mustard seed of light that I saw way down in the tunnel. Because I was in a dark tunnel, y'all. And I've used this analogy before because as I've gotten closer, that light has gotten brighter. That light has gotten brighter. And God sent people and sent me to places and sent things in my life to get me closer and closer and closer. And my walk is like miraculous. My walk has been miraculous. My walk is miraculous because for the majority part of my life, I didn't know anything about spirituality on this level and what was going on behind and under and in the realms. I didn't know. And now that I know, it just makes me even more grateful to God because you remember them memes where you got all that stuff behind you, all them demons and stuff behind you, and you walking with your head down, and you got your angels throwing daggers and cutting heads off and stuff, and you don't even know what's going on behind you. I got to see a glimpse of that because I sat beside my karmics when they went through it, not knowing why they were going through what they were going through. I've watched it. I've watched God vindicate me from relationships from men who have done me wrong, and two of them went to jail, went back to jail after screwing me over. Now, I didn't do anything. I was heartbroken. So I'm home nursing my heartbreak and, looking for the lesson because I've always looked for the lesson. Okay, God, just bring me closer. I used to always say that because I knew that there was a match out there for me. I knew it. In my last relationship, when I was in Texas, I knew I wasn't meant to be with him. I knew I was meant to help him, but I knew I wasn't meant to be with him. And I hope that makes sense. But I knew I was meant to help him. But I also knew that because I was able to deal with him a certain kind of way emotionally and mentally without being so about it and sitting in more of my feminine energy, even though my mouth is still quick. I knew I was closer to whatever God had in store for me. I always knew that there was somebody out there that would get me because I've been surrounded by people that didn't get me. And I'm still surrounded. Like, God really does have me secluded for a reason. I have myself secluded because there's still some lessons that I need to learn and I'm grateful for. Because I rather learn every lesson in seclusion and make mistakes. So if and when I make mistakes out in public, I've already dealt with them internally and I am strong within myself to not let mistakes deter me because mistakes are only lessons that I need to learn in this incarnation of my life. And I'm here to learn every lesson I can. That's what we're here for. The good ones and the bad ones. We love them good ones though. We love them celebrations and everything. But when them bad ones hit, we like, why, Lord? Why? Why not? And it took me a minute to understand when people be like, why not? I be like, what you mean, why not? I used to get an attitude. Oh, I used to get an attitude, y'all. I did. I used to get an attitude so bad. I did. I used to get an attitude. I'm finna end this. Let me get back to watching and writing and watching and writing. But I am documenting this because I know there are people out there that's going through this that don't know, that don't understand. And I am 46 and learning this. So if I can cut that in half, because I just had a conversation with one of my nieces, and I'm like, she's the young one. Oh, one thing come apart. And I'm like, listen, if I had this information when I was in my 20s, y'all, I would have been so freaking lit. I would have been so lit. I would have been so lit. Listen, I was already on my P's and Q's, buying my house and graduating from college, being the first ones to do either one. Yeah, I didn't look at it as that so much, but I recognized that the people around me did and treated me badly when I needed them because of it. So that's okay. I'm okay with that. This just makes me go even harder. This just makes me go even harder. But I know there's some things I gotta heal. Some things I'm still running away from. Because if I'm still smoking and I know it's tied to my freedom and my liberation from this type of life, from this dimension, because that's what I'm in right now. I'm in a time loop dimension. And I have the keys. I have the keys to get out. And the key right now is to stop smoking and to put my health, my unconditional love of myself first, which means what I put into my body physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. That is what I'm focused on right now. which is why I'm so glad that this hiatus is happening because it's kind of difficult right now, especially when you're in the middle of the process of doing it. Not after you done healed and you done went through the fire and came out and now you all groomed up, done shaved, done got your hair done. Now, it's easy to do it then. It's really easy to do it then, but when you in the midst of it, when you in the middle of it, when you still in the lion's den, when you still in the eye of the storm, and you still gotta show up and show out, and even though daggers is being thrown your way, even though people don't want you to succeed and they showing you still they don't want you to succeed. You understand? And the fact that you can still show up and still smile, this is why I know God got me doing, because I wouldn't have did this. My Venus Leo is like, no, we waiting until we got it all together. We waiting until our hair is did and our nails are done and we in our own space and we got our decor popping, and we sipping wine. And that's when I was planning on doing a YouTube channel. God had other plans, y'all. Y'all getting to see me at my Lord. And I'm okay with that. Because I'm okay with that. I about to say because I'm cute, but I'm more than that. The things that I got and I have obtained in this solitude, it's not quantifiable. It really isn't. I can't put a price tag on it. Because even though I'm uncomfortable and comfortable at the same time, I am a duality walking in motion. Because I'm comfortable but uncomfortable at the same time. That's when you know you in the middle. That's when you know you in the middle of change, when you uncomfortable and comfortable at the same time. It's already crazy feeling uncomfortable. But when you comfortable and uncomfortable, it's like, because I'm uncomfortable with the growth, but I'm uncomfortable with the stagnation as I anticipate I want the growth to go a little faster. So you see, that's also still my perception. God has no time. Time only exists here on earth. So in the spirit world, there is no time. It all depends on you energetically. So I know that there's something energetically that I still need to clean up. Energetically, I need to heal. That's what cleaning up means. It means healing those wounds. And I don't want to mess up any of God's gifts. I really don't. So as much as I'm uncomfortable with where I'm at and uncomfortable with me digging in the ashtray, I'd rather be uncomfortable doing that to be comfortable in the wrong situation and not recognize it because my intuition is off, because my behavior is still dictating that I'm vibing low to a certain extent, or that I'm running. We do things when we running from what we feeling. And I'm like, what am I running from? What am I feeling? What am I running from? What am I feeling? Instead of, that's my mind trying to think of it instead of just sitting there feeling. Because when I sit there and feel, that's when my mind be like, okay, we don't like this. Go find something to do. Go eat something, go smoke something. That's why my mind works. Which are comforts, they're crutches that I'm just, it's like I'm holding on to, but I let go. Like I hold on to it for a little bit, and then I let go for a little bit. Then I hold on for a little bit, then I let go. So I'm glad that guy got me sitting still enough where I can still focus my energy on me and healing that wound wherever it has manifested originally, because I still don't know. But I have to be sober enough to sit with those feelings, and they're uncomfortable. I'll be honest. I'll be honest. They're not easy. They're not easy. They make me cry. And I feel like I cried enough. But they don't make me cry like I used to. They make me tear up, I'll say. And I don't even like that. I feel like I cried enough. And instead of recognizing the fact that I'm not crying and boo-hooing and like, oh my God, what's going on? Like I used to be, I'm frustrated at the fact that I even tear up, so I don't want to deal with it. So I'm still dealing with recognizing my own emotions, my own feelings. And I've always said I never wanted to pass that on to a child. I never did. So I'd rather me deal with it than for me to pass it on to my child and my child to deal with it. And God said he gonna bless me with everything that was taken away from me. And they cursed my womb for a minute, child. They cursed my womb. They cursed my womb. They didn't want me to have my child. They didn't want me to have no children. But at 46, I still have hope. It's not my business how. It's not my business. I still get overwhelmed by that because I be feeling like 46, God, man. And when I think about pouring into other people's children, oh Lord, it just does something to me. But I'm glad I did not do it to my children. So I find solace in that when those thoughts come to me. Like sometimes I don't regret. I don't regret. I really don't. But you be like, dang. That's why it's not always good to play shoulda, coulda, woulda. Because you start thinking and then regret trying to set in. And then resentment for what you've done sets in. And I refuse to resent what I did because I loved it. And I enjoyed it and I took tons of pictures of it. So lessons, lessons, lessons. We are all on this journey here to help one another. I send you peace, love, and light, my loves. Namaste. Mazel tov. Ashe. I love you guys. We gonna get through this. We gonna win in this life. Cause I'm not coming back. I'm not coming back. I'm not coming back. If I got to experience heartbreak, but I don't think I do. I think I'm gonna enjoy the remainder of this life once I, you know, heal. Heal a little bit more. I'm healing, y'all. I'm healing. We healing, y'all. We healing. So if you're on this channel, that's because you want to heal. You sick and tired of how everything been going for you. You just done. And you like, okay, there gotta be something else going on. I know I believe in God. Because I knew there was a God. There had to be. There had to be. There had to be. There had to be. I wasn't talking to myself. I couldn't have been just talking to myself. I couldn't have been. Because everything that I was experiencing, there was no rhyme or reason. There was no rhyme or reason. Because I know my mouth has been reckless, and I have done a conversation with any and everybody that felt like I did something to them, I wronged them, and the majority of them say it was because of my mouth. That's all they got to say. I get it. My mouth was reckless. It was fire. It was fire. It was fire. It was fire. Okay? It was. I recognize that. And I've done what I needed to do to correct that. So that's no longer an issue. Because basically, I let my emotions get the best of me. And if you hurt me, I returned your same energy that you gave me. Except for mine was met with the truth. And the truth hurt, but it set me free. But I said it hurtful. So I no longer do that anymore because I don't want to cause nobody else pain. Because when I cause them pain, I feel it. I do. I get it back. That's karma. I don't want to feel that. So I'm very careful with my words now and how I say them and how they come across. So, you know. All right, my loves, that's 27 minutes. Longer than I anticipated, but I am glad to have talked to you guys. I am. Ain't no shame in my game. Never have been. I've always been one to admit my faults, my, all of them, whatever they may be. Whatever they may be. But now I'm learning that I have control. I have control. I have dominion over my body. No matter what is being thrown my way energetically. So, stay tuned, guys. We got this.